The compact crossover segment has grown quite significantly in popularity since the GMC Terrain was introduced in the 2010 model year. Even though it's in its 7th year of this generation and with very minimal updates along the way, the GMC Terrain still stands out in the class with some key attributes. So let's go ahead and check out this 2016 GMC Terrain. Now for the 2016 model year, there are some pretty significant updates. Essentially, there is now a storage area that takes the place of the CD player, which has been dropped. And then the Terrain gets slightly updated front and rear styling, as well as LED daytime running lights on SLE2 models and above. And then there's also added safety features on SLE2 trims and the SLT trims too. Now, as far as styling goes on the Terrain, I really do love the styling, and many crossovers in the compact crossover class usually have swoopy styling and very sleek styling. However, the Terrain keeps it very SUV-like and very rugged too. I also do love these 17-inch alloy wheels. They look pretty handsome in my opinion. But overall, really love the styling of the vehicle. Now, the Terrain also shares many mechanical components with the Chevrolet Equinox too. Now here goes the key fob for the vehicle. It's a switchblade key. You have your unlock, your lock, and then your panic alarm too. Now this color is known as the slate blue metallic exterior color, with a full-on black cloth interior. It's known as the jet black interior. Power driver's seat adjustments, and then you also do have manual recline. Now stepping on inside of the Terrain here, the step-in height is fairly low, what you would expect out of a compact crossover. Now the cabin design for the vehicle is getting a little dated, but it's still kind of stylish. And it looks very similar to the Chevrolet Equinox. I wish they would differ the Chevrolet Equinox and the Terrain a little bit more on the inside. And what you're hearing there is a 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder engine. Now coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic. You also do have manual shiftability too. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera. You also do have guidance lines and trajectory as well. A rear view camera is also standard on every trim of the Terrain. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors. "17-inch alloy wheels." Really do love the styling of the Terrain. Halogen projector beam headlights. LED daytime running lights are an option now, like I said earlier in the video. Pretty rugged appearance and very bold looking too. Now under the hood here we have your base powertrain, which is a 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder engine that produces 182 horsepower at 6,700 RPM and 172 pound-feet of torque at 4,900 RPM, with EPA estimates being 22 in the city and 32 on the highway, which is alright. It is front-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive is optional on the Terrain. Now, this is the powertrain you will want to avoid because it feels pretty sluggish at times. And there is an optional powertrain available, which is a 3.6 liter V6 that provides ample amounts of power. And many crossovers in this class don't offer an optional powertrain, especially a V6 powertrain at that. But the V6 powertrain is certainly the one you will want to get. Now competitors of the Terrain, you have the vehicles in the compact crossover class. This includes the likes of the Toyota RAV4, the Nissan Rogue, Honda CR-V, Ford Escape, as well as the Chevrolet Equinox 2, and the Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson, as well as the Subaru Forester. Pricing of the vehicle starts at the base SL model, which starts at $23,975. The SLE1 starts at $26,800. SLE2 starts at $28,300. And then the SLT starts at $30,620. And then finally the Denali starts at $33,975. Coming to the rear, we have a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster. They redesigned the tailpipe for the 2016 model year too, with the chrome exhaust tip. I think it looks pretty stylish. EPA estimates, like I said, are 22 in the city, 32 on the highway. Total vehicle price is $28,120. Power windows, power mirrors, power door locks, chrome interior door handles, nice soft touch armrest. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Now, build quality and materials inside of the Terrain here are pretty average for the class. Up here, it's a hard touch upper door panel, hard plastic, and then you have a soft touch mid door panel, and the armrest is nice and soft touch. Up here, surrounding the gauges, you have this molded stitching. It's kind of softly padded on this portion right here, but most of the plastics inside of here are hard touch plastic, kind of cheap feeling. The build quality is okay, certainly not best in class. Some of the trim pieces do creak a little bit, just not the best build quality, and some of the interior trim and pieces don't fit all that well together. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, we've seen this steering wheel design for ages in GM products. It's kind of getting a little dated now. I would love to see their newer steering wheel designs. But you do have your cruise control buttons right here, steering wheel mounted audio controls, and your voice recognition and Bluetooth phone controls, manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel with an okay range of adjustment here. Now, coming up here, we also do have your OnStar with your auto dimming rear view mirror, and then you have your map lights up above. Coming down here, you have a little storage cubby, and then in the 2015 models, this is where the CD player would be slotted, but now you have another little storage area. Right here, you have a little eco button, which helps save fuel a little bit. And then you have your dual cup holders. Traction control off button is also right here, and then another little storage cubby. Coming down here, you have a pretty deep center console, but down there is where you will find your USB port and then your auxiliary inputs. As far as the seats go in the Terrain, they're very comfortable. Lots of support here, and then the thigh support is excellent too. I would certainly take this vehicle on a long road trip. The seats are just really nice and plush, and they do hold you in place quite well. As far as visibility goes in the Terrain, it's okay. Out of the front windows, it's pretty easy to see out of. Outward visibility through the windshield is okay. When you get to rearward visibility, it is a little bit compromised due to that little rear window back there. Now, coming to your AC controls, pretty simple and easy to use here. Pretty self-explanatory. You have your fan speeds, big knobs and big buttons. And then you have your different zones right here, rear window defroster, front window defroster, and then your temperatures also right there as well. Now, coming to the gauges are quite nice, and they're nice and big, and they're in bold font. Love the gauges here. We have your tachometer right there, and then your speedometer right there, and then you have a digital speedometer too. Now, to control this little information display, you have to control it by these buttons down here next to the AC controls. And you have your trip odometer, and it shows you your direction of travel, what gear you're in, and then your fuel range, average fuel economy data, gives you a little bar too, which is pretty cool. Average vehicle speed, timer, your navigation, turn-by-turn directions. Pretty cool there. But you won't find anything like a TFT instrument cluster or anything like that. Up here we also do have your fuel gauge and then your coolant temperature too. Now let's get to the main infotainment system here. This is the GMC IntelliLink system. Seen it many times here before. And it's a touchscreen. And the responsiveness is pretty good. Now when you come to your home button here, pretty much reveals everything. Now your different media sources do include AM, FM, XM satellite radio, USB port, auxiliary input. However, ours does not have Bluetooth streaming audio. In order to get Bluetooth streaming audio, you actually have to step up to the SLE2 trims and above. Right here we also do have your presets. And then you have your quick info right here too. Shows you your audio info. I wish the buttons were a little bit bigger on the screen, and then the buttons up here at the very top are kind of hard to reach. And then there's many different settings you can change, from the time and the date to your phone settings, radio settings, languages, display settings, vehicle settings, many different settings you could change here. And you could customize your home page menu, you could sort it out however you would like. And then up here we also do have your exterior temperature readout and your digital clock too. Let's get back to the home screen. Coming to your phone, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone and have OnStar hands-free calling too.
Pair, please start a search on your Bluetooth phone.
And then coming to your tone, you could change many different settings for your audio settings, from the bass, mid, treble, equalizer settings, fade, balance, all that good stuff. And then to change the different media source, you just have to click on the source button right here. Pretty nice. Overall, love the GMC IntelliLink system. It's very related to the Chevrolet MyLink system and the Buick IntelliLink system. Now, driving the Terrain, certainly the best part about driving this vehicle is it's very comfortable highway ride, and then also it's very quiet at highway speeds too. This vehicle is luxury car quiet. Now also, the steering and the handling on the Terrain is certainly not its expertise, but it's pretty good overall. You feel for where this vehicle is trying to go. It's not numb or anything. However, if you're looking for the best driver engagement out of a compact crossover, I suggest looking at the Ford Escape or the Mazda CX-5. With that being said, the 2.4 liter four-cylinder is certainly the powertrain you want to avoid. It feels very sluggish, and the EPA estimates don't really live up to the real-world fuel economy numbers. The V6 powertrain is certainly the one you will want to get, as it provides lots of more passing power, and then also the fuel economy doesn't drop too much. The 6-speed automatic transmission does shift pretty smoothly, however. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and shut down the vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the Terrain. Now, cargo capacity isn't as good as it is in some rivals of the Terrain. Now, back here you will find a power outlet, and then underneath of here is where your spare tire is. But the rear seats do fold down to maximize cargo space, of course, by just pulling on these right here, pulling up on them, and then you just push them forward. Pretty easy to do. Build quality and materials somewhat follow through in the rear. Slightly padded on the armrest and on the mid-door panel. Hard touch plastic on the upper door panel, however. Now, sitting back here, it's actually very comfortable and spacious. You have a decent amount of legroom and lots of headroom too. Very nice. And then you also do have dual map pockets and a 12-volt power outlet down there, and a rear center armrest with cup holders. Another nice little feature is that The rear seats are adjustable in the Terrain too, and many seats are adjustable in other compact crossovers. So that's a very nice feature for the Terrain to have if you're looking for a little bit more cargo space or more space for the rear seat occupants. Alright, full manual passenger seat, glove box compartment, nice and damp, and a little storage cubby on the side right here too. So with its pleasant driving experience, its comfortable interior, and its powerful optional V6 powertrain, the 2016 GMC Terrain is an okay choice for a compact crossover. Just remember that if you're looking for a strong 4-cylinder engine, you may want to look elsewhere. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.